Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Tobias and today we're going to look at the square of a binomial with a positive sign. So we've got this sum inside of brackets and it's squared. And squared means that the brackets are multiplied by themselves. So a plus b squared means that we just take the bracket and multiply it by itself. And the way we do this is by taking the first term in the first bracket and multiplying it with each of the terms in the second. And then after we do this, we take the second term in the first bracket and we do the same, multiplying it by a and then b. And I've tried to represent it down here with some arrows. So we firstly take a in the first bracket and then we multiply it by a, and then we say plus a multiplied by b, and then we say b multiplied by a and b multiplied by b. And this we can write up here as a multiplied by a, that's the first term here. Then we have a multiplied by b, that's a multiplied by b, and plus b multiplied by a, that's this term over here, and then b by b, that's the last term. Now we look at this term here, the third one, and we see that b multiplied by a, that would be the same as a multiplied by b, because 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. So we just break up the order here and do it like this, a times b. So we have once again a times a times b, a times b this time. We've just rearranged the a and the b, and then we have b times b. And all of this is a term in itself, so a times a plus a times b, so a times a is a term, and a times b, and a times b, and b times b. And then we look at how many times do we have this term called a times b. We've got it here, and we've got it here. So now we can just say we multiply this term by 2 because we have it twice. So we take a times a, that can be written as a squared. Then we say 2 times a times b, because we have the term 2 times. And then b times b is the same as b squared. And in the end, we've got, if we just rearrange this a little bit, so we just mix up the order of the two last terms, we get a times, or a squared plus b squared plus 2 times a times b. So if we have the binomial on the sum here squared, then we end up having 3 terms, a squared plus b squared plus 2 times a times b. And now we look at another one. This time we don't have a and b, we just have s and t. We just do exactly the same. Squared means we take the brackets and multiply it by itself. And then we say again, once again, the first term multiplied by the 2 terms in the second bracket, so s times s plus s times t plus t times s plus t times t. And then we get these 4 terms over here. Once again, t times s is the same as s times t, because the order of multiplying doesn't matter, like 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2, or 4 times 8 is the same as 8 times 4, and so on. So we just rearrange these two factors once again. So s times s, this is the first term, s times t this time, because of the rearranging of factors, and t times t. And then we just look again at this term here, s times t and s times t. We've got this term 2 times, so we just put a 2 in front of it. And the multiplying sign here, we can leave it in or we can leave it out. That doesn't matter. It means the same. So s times s is s squared, t times t is t squared, and 2 times this term is 2 times s times t. And we just put the order, reverse it here, so the 2 last terms we just switch them over, and we have s squared plus t squared plus 2st. If we had been using just our formula up here, we can see that we've got the first term squared plus the second term squared plus 2 times the first term times the second term. And if we had been doing this instead of like doing all the multiplying stuff and putting it together in the end, we could just have been using our formula and saying the first term squared plus the second term squared plus 2 times s times t. We would have this, and we could do away with the multiplying signs, and then we've got s squared plus t squared plus 2st. So if we just use the formula, we just have to remember, because it's kind of we all sometimes miss it out, like or leave it out, plus 2 times ab. We just have to remember to say 2 times a times b in the end if we use this formula. We have seen it done up here and now down here too. If we have a letter and an integer here, we could we just do the very same. We have to multiply or first multiply the bracket by itself, and then we say x times x plus x times 2 plus 2 times x plus 2 times 2. Sorry. So we get these 4 terms: x times x plus x times 2 plus 2 times x plus 2 times 2. Normally we would like to have the numbers first and then the letters afterwards, so we just rearrange these factors once again, like we did up with a and b and s and t. So we have x times x plus 2 times x instead of x times 2. So we get this term, and then we just take the same term here, 2 times x and 2 times 2. X times x is x squared. How many times do we have this term here? We've got it 2 times, so we can say 2 times 2 times x. 2 times 2 is 4, and then an x. And then we've got in the end 2 times 2, that's 4. We rearrange the terms once again, so we get x squared plus 4 plus 4x. If we had been using our formula, we could just have set the first term squared, that's x squared, plus the second term squared, that's 2 squared, plus 2 times x times 2, like this. And if we rearrange and multiply and do stuff, we get x squared, 2 squared is 4, 2 times 2, we just rearrange these factors once again, so we get 2 times 2 times x, and 2 times 2 is 4, and then we get the same as we did up here. So that was our second example here. And we've got the last one. So we've got both numbers and letters this time. So 2 terms here, 2x plus 3y squared. We square the bracket, and we say 2 times 2x times 2x plus 2 times 2x times 3y plus 3y times 2x plus 3y times 3y. And then we've got these 4 terms: 2x times 2x plus 2x times 3y plus 3y times 2x plus 3y times 3y. We rearrange once again the factors, so all the numbers in the front and the letters in the back. So 2 and 2 go to the front, and x times x is in the back. 2 and 3 are multiplied in the front, and then x and y are put in the back. We do the same with the third term here, rearranging everything, and numbers in front and letters afterwards in the last term also. Then we've got these 4 terms. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared, so we get this term from this term. Then we once again look at like how many times do we have this term. 2 times 3 times x times y. We've got 2 times. So we multiply it by 2. So 2 times 3 is 6 times x times y, and 2 times 3 is 6 and 6 and x times y. We've got these 2 terms, and then we've got 3 times y times y. We've got 9 y squared. And 6 plus 6 are 2 times this term, gets us 12xy. Then we've got 4xy plus 12xy. Oh, sorry, 4x squared plus 12xy plus 9y squared. And we rearrange the last two terms, and we get this out of it. If we had been using our formula, we would just have set the first term square, that's 2x squared. We have to have it in brackets to see that to the power of 2 is used on both the number and the letter. Then we've got the second term squared, like 3y squared, and we say 2 times the first term times the second term. That yields us 2 times 2x times 3y. When we have an expression like 2x in brackets squared, we have to square both the number and the letter. So 2 squared times x squared plus 3 squared times y squared plus 2 times 2 times 3 times x times y. So the numbers in front and the letters in the back. 2 squared is 4, x squared is x squared, 3 squared is 9 times y squared, and 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12, xy. And once again we get exactly the same pattern as up here, and the same result as up here. So we can use this formula every time. So first term squared plus second term squared plus 2 times the first times the second term. So we've been using this all the way down through this one with S and T, 2 letters, here with a letter and a number, and down here with a mix of both letters and numbers, or numbers and letters. Well, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.